$350,000 worth of credit, knowledge, and secrets. Let's get to it.
The Wealthy Empire Network.
Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy Jeremy Cash, live and direct with another valuable video for you. Before we get started, man, make sure you like this video all the way up. All right, this knowledge is about to be lit and it's gonna help your family, so make sure you send this to every family and friends you know. All right, the power of credit, y'all. Right here I have a stack of about 20 plus credit cards, and I also got a lot more in my wallet. Now people look at me all the time and they be like, yo, why the heck do you got so many credit cards, bro? And I'm like, why don't you got none? You know what I'm saying? Because if you knew the power in it, you would have as many as you possibly could have. And I'm about to explain the reason why. A lot of people tell you not to get them because you're going to debt. A lot of people tell you pay everything cash, but they are wrong, okay? There are people who could pay everything cash, but when they go to do certain business, because they don't have any credit, they don't have no auto loans, they don't have no credit cards on their credit report, the bank will tell them no, right? Because they don't have anything to show for it. You don't want to be that person, all right? The reason why I have so many credit cards is because I'm able to leverage this to make me millions of dollars in real life. I'm able to leverage this to make me a lot of money, y'all. And I'm going to tell you the reason why. All right, the reason why I'm using these so much is because they come with perks, they come with benefits, and they come with increases. These three things: perks, benefits, and increases. And they allow me to make more money and invest in my business. A debit card comes with no perks. I never use a debit card. The reason why: it doesn't give me no cash back. Once I spend the money's gone. If I pay a bill with it, the money's gone. But when I pay a bill with these, guess what? The money comes right back. How is that? Because when you add money back to a credit card, it's revolving. The money's still back on the card, so you really never spent any money. It's about how you look at things, right? People perish for the lack of knowledge. The reason why a lot of people don't like these is because they didn't know how to use them right. They kept going into debt, using them because it wasn't using them for assets. They was using them for liabilities. You let the asset pay for the liability, right? So how can you turn these into cash? How can you make a lot of money off of these? I'm gonna give you some practical reasons how, some practical ways how. Number one, you can use these to invest in different things. I use mine to invest in Forex, right? I learned the game of Forex. I learned how to make money. I take off at least $1,000, $2,000. I can flip that within a day or two, pay these cards off, keep the money, pay the cards off and keep the money in the account and grow the account from there. I've been able to do that 100 times over, been able to pay my bills, take care of things. That's kind of how I got back into this industry and really start eating and being able to get my family to the next level, is because I understood how to invest these. Mind you, last January I had no credit cards. I just started with a secure card. Now I have like 20 something of them, right? There's a reason for that. Another thing that you can do with these is add people on as authorized users, and you can have them pay you to be added onto these cards. So these right here is a 6-figure, 7-figure business alone. I'm not at 7 figures on the credit card thing yet, but the 6-figure business is definitely coming with these. The reason why I haven't started it yet is because you have to have age on your credit. All right, you need at least 6 months reporting, right? You need some nice limits. I got nice limits. I'm still waiting on certain ones to hit the 6-month mark because I've still been applying. Once they do that, you can add people onto these cards, charge them to be added to these cards. Your credit limits will report on their credit, right? It'll help them boost them. It'll help them be able to go out and get cars 0 money down. It'll help them be able to go get houses at a good interest rate, things like that, because you added them on as an authorized user. All right. You could charge whatever you want. You could charge anywhere between $300, depending on your limit and your age, the credit history age, or you could charge up to $600, $700, depending on how you want to do it. But every 60 days, guys. So each card has a certain amount, a certain limit of people you can add to it. If you're trying to use your American Express, it will not work because American Express does not report history. You can have up to 99 people on that card, but it will not report history, okay? So you want certain cards that you can add people to. Just look at which cards that you may have or that you're trying to get. You can add anywhere between 2 to 3 people up to 5 to 6 people. Charge them what you want. Think about it. If you charge somebody $300-400 and it's 5 or 6 people on one card, and I have 20 something, you do the math. How much money is that, right? These are now assets. They're not liabilities, but you got to know how to use them. So I tell people all the time, get them, learn how to use them. When you are using these, guys, you definitely don't want to go over 10%. All right. I used to say 30 a lot. 30 is cool, but it still may report a little bit, bring the score up or down a little bit, just kind of depends. But when you go 10% and below is the sweet spot. All right, 10% and below, make sure your score is nice and right. Whenever you do add somebody as an authorized user on these, you want to make sure that you're not really using the card. All right, because if you are, it's going to negatively affect them, and you don't want that. So some of the other things that you could do with this, like I said, you could take free flights. Me and my wife travel all the time. We don't pay for plane tickets at all because we use these cards so much with advertising. We use these cards to pay ads. Think about this, guys. If you use your credit card to run an ad, right, and you stop cheaping out on your ads, you stop doing $100 ads, and use your card, throw a good $2,000-3,000 on your ads and stuff like that on Instagram, you'll get some pretty decent cash back, right? Each time you do that. And you can also write this kind of stuff off on your taxes. Another tip. But you do that, the card is then going to give you cash back, right? Each card or each time you do that, you get cash back. Let that cash back build up, then use the cash back money to take a flight, to take a vacation, to pay for groceries, to pay for school supplies or whatever it is. That way, you're not using your own money, you're using the bank's money. The bank is giving you free money. Not only did they give you free money, they even give you more free money for even spending on it. It's just ridiculous. There's no reason why I would use a debit card anymore. I'm just gonna keep it 100, y'all. But like I said, a lot of people use these to get wealth, right? They use these to buy real estate at auctions. They use them to buy, multifamily units. And they'll move somebody, they'll take the money off the card, all right? They'll go buy something. I mean, not buy something. They'll go buy a property. Search Zillow, you buy a property, right? You move somebody in that property. You refinance the house, pay the card off, okay? You could do that. Or, like I said, you could, take the money from the trade line and pay that off. I got that note from him 500. Him 500 is a beast as well in this credit game. A beast, absolute beast. If you're not following him 500 on Instagram, definitely do so. He's a beast. You could do so much with these, y'all. Like I said, I use mine to invest into Forex and stocks and all that, and I do it. I flip money and I pay these off. You always want to get 0% interest credit cards. You want to try to get the highest limits possible. If you don't know how to get into Navy Federal, I have a Navy Federal card, big money. They used to give out big limits. They still do, but you just gotta know how to get in the system. If you're not in the military, you need to get Navy Federal. Hit me up or hit the link below. Matter of fact, hit the link below if you do want credit repair and you're trying to get your credit fixed. I don't do it personally. I am an affiliate of a company that does do it, and they do a great job. These are people that I know. And then I also have another program that shows you all these different credit hacks and secrets on how to get things removed quickly. But I also give you guys some information on how to do those things as well right now. First couple things you want to do to get some stuff removed off your credit report to get your score to jumping up, you need to call the credit bureaus. You need to call them, and you need to make sure that everything that they have on file is legit. What do I mean by that? Sometimes the credit bureau will have multiple names. They might have your name misspelled on, so you might have like 5 of your name, but some of them are misspelled. You want to have them remove all of that and tell them this is the name that I go by. This is my only name. You can remove all the rest of this. They can remove old phone numbers. Tell them, hey, I only have one phone number. I'm going to verify that all these other numbers they're invalid. I don't have those numbers anymore. Could you remove those? You want to ask them about the addresses and say, hey, how many addresses do I have on file? They might say, hey, you have 4 addresses on file. Say, hey, remove those. I only stay at this one address. That's going to help your score go up. So you need to be able to do all of that to get your score going up. Now, there is a 609 credit letter that will allow you to get things removed or to dispute derogatory remarks and try to get things removed. If that does not work, cfpb.gov is the government website for after you do your disputes. You go to cfpb.gov, file a complaint, get your stuff removed that way. If you don't want to go through all that, like I said, I do have people that you can pay, because I'm the type of person, to be honest, I don't like doing all that stuff myself. I don't have time for it. I'll be trying to do other stuff, so I'd rather just pay somebody to clean my stuff, and I ain't got to worry about it. So if that's you, then, you know, like I said, I have links below. You can go ahead and get that stuff popping today. We can get you popping. But if you want trade lines as well, you want to buy them or you want to sell your own trade lines. Let's say you do got good credit and you want to sell trade lines. And now you got two options, right? You can just find people that you know, charge them a fee, say, hey, I have high limits. And if you want to get your credit score to boost up before you go buy that car or that house or whatever, then I got you. I can add you to my card, it'll report, and your score will jump up. Or you can go through a website called TradelineSupply.com, TradelineSupply.com. You can buy trade lines on there, and you can also sell your own trade line. I don't have any affiliate with them at all, but I don't mind giving out some game. But you can sell yours on there. They'll give you a smaller percentage of what you probably would have charged somebody anyway, but you'll still be able to have that on autopilot, because what they do is they'll put it in their inventory, and as people come to their site on autopilot, when they start buying trade lines, they might come across yours and buy it. So hey, you could do it that way. There is, like, man, it's so many perks, y'all, to these, that people are so scared to have these, and I'm like, I didn't have none like last January, now I have a lot. And now that I understand it, I'm gonna continue to get more. And this is all just a lot of personal. Then I have business credit as well. If you want business credit just doesn't show on your personal. If you want business credit to like start running a business, running ads with it and all that, and you don't want a personal guarantee, something you can do is go to divvy.com, DIVVY. They offer credit without, they offer business credit without a personal guarantee or a credit check. The only thing they look for is for you to have money in your bank account and to have an LLC and a business bank account. That's it. They'll verify that. They'll give you a limit based on, you know, your requirements or whatever it is that you have, and you'll be good to go. Now, so I tell people all the time, make sure you get an LLC, because you will need an LLC, y'all. If you're trying to do legit business, get your LLC. If you don't know where to get an LLC or start an LLC or S Corp, go to inkfile.com. All right, INCFILE.com. You will be able to start up an LLC today. You got to pay a little bit of money, but it's worth it. All right, you get that. You can do that as your business grows. You can turn into an S Corp, pay yourself, all that free game, but that's for another video. All right, like I was saying about these cards, you could buy real estate, move people into properties, refinance, pay it back, pay your cards back. It's revolving all day long. So no matter what you spend, once it's paid back, the money's there again for you to use again and again and again, and it never runs out. So if you are wanting to find out how to get certain trade lines or primary trade lines on your credit to help you boost it, first and foremost, most people like myself as well, I will tell you sometimes to get a secured credit card, and that's a card that you put money on. The unsecured card is the money that the bank gives you. So secured, most of the time you got bad credit, you got to start out with that, but that's okay. Anytime you do anywhere between $200 on your card to $300, just know that in that 6 months, whenever they go to graduate you, you may only go up to like $1,000 limit once they give you an unsecured card. If you want bigger limits out the gate, the best thing for you to do is to go to agjewelers.com, agjewelers.com. All right, they will give you $10,000 credit line. All right, this isn't a regular credit card you can just swipe anywhere, but it's going to report $10,000 onto your credit report. Now, there is a $149 fee and I think a $99 per year annual fee, but you will have $10,000 reporting on your credit report. It is a jewelry store, so if you do want to buy, you know, some jewelry, you could do that as well. But that's one. My Jewelers Club is another one. They'll give you $5,000, so off the back, that's $15,000 reporting to your credit report. These are primary. These are the ones that are going to really help your strengthen your credit profile. All right, primaries, you definitely need primaries. Then you add the authorized user last to really give you that solid profile. So you got all kinds of stuff, New Coast Direct and all those other ones, but they do all report. to the credit bureaus. You got Self Lender. You can use, it's called Self Inc. or self.com. You can go to them. It's kind of like a little loan that you pay into, right? And at the end of the 12 months, they'll give you your money back plus interest. You can do that. So these are some practical ways to grow your credit, to build it, to get, you know, higher limits. Like I said, if you're looking to get into Navy Federal, I got the plugs on that. Just hit the link below, get some of the stuff, and you'll be good to go as far as that goes. You can also use these to open up, to start a loan business, right? You know how like payday loan companies got their little business. Well, when you got this many cards, and if you got 4 or 5 of them, got some pretty nice limits, you are now a walking bank. Look at yourself as a walking bank. You have the money, people need it, you will be able to provide that. All right. So I usually do these when you got a 0% interest credit cards or something like that. Somebody that may need some money, you treat them just like, instead of them going to the payday loan place, they come to you and they say, yo, hey, I need a loan. You write out a contract, 100%. Like, yo, this is what the contract is. This is how much you're going to pay me back in interest. And so I'm going to loan you this. You take the money off your card. Just a side note, if you link your credit card to Cash App, you can always send people money through Cash App from your credit card, which allow you to get points and all of that. All right. But yeah, back to what I was saying. Yeah, they'll sign the contract or whatever, and then you'll pretty much be a bank, right? They'll be paying you back, right, monthly or whatever, plus interest. By the time they pay you back in interest, you know you got extra money. So it's just using your brain to figure out, how can I make these more of an asset than a liability? All right. It's so many different things, guys, that you can use with these. Like I said, you can use them to run ads, to grow your business, scale them. I use these right here to pay my employees as well. I mean, it's really unlimited. But just know, the more you use it, the more cash back you get, the more airline miles you get. And if you just let them stack up, you can take free flights throughout the year. You don't got to worry about coming out your own pocket. And like I say, I don't really come out of pocket for anything, because as I use these, I make money. And like, for instance, with Forex, I take some money off the card, thousands plus dollars, make $1,000 some dollars, pay the card back, and I'm Gucci. You know what I'm saying? But you just gotta kind of know what to invest in, how to finesse the system. If you're somebody who's wanting to quit your job, these, all right, these, but you gotta be responsible with them. Be very responsible with them, because it can get ugly real quick. But find out what you want to invest in, create yourself a plan, a 6-month plan to get out your job. Because if you're not making enough, I promise you, you're not gonna be making enough at no job. They're not gonna pay you what you feel like you're worth. So at least, you know, stay there long enough to get your credit right, and you know, to use the job money to help fund, you know, you getting your credit fixed and stuff like that. At least just have that hovering over your head. That way, by the time you leave, you got credit, you got what you investing in, and you ready to go. You know what I'm saying? So I tell people all the time, man, your job is not gonna give you no $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 raises like every other month, or I mean every 6 months, right? These right here, by me using them, right? If I was dead broke and was still in my warehouse job making $9 an hour, I could have just paid somebody with a tax refund or whatever it is that I had back in the day. I could have paid somebody to fix my credit. I could have applied for like 2 or 3 credit cards, got $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 limits, right? And then grew that over time in a 6-month time frame to $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 limits. And then I would have had an extra $30,000, $40,000 in my pocket just by carrying these around that I can use to invest in different things at different times. Meanwhile, the job that I was at still wouldn't have gave me a raise. But these credit cards will. They're going to give you increase after increase after increase. So you got to realize where the power really lies at. Not only that, by me using them and using them enough, I get a credit increase all the time, right? I get a credit increase every 6 months, or, you know, 6 months to a year. I call them up and say, hey, you know, I know you see the spend I've been doing on these cards. I want to run more ads. I want to do bigger ads. I've been paying my stuff off how I'm supposed to. They're going to be like, yeah, okay, how much are you looking for? And you say, hey, I need an extra $5,000. I need an extra $10,000 because I plan on scaling this really big. They look at it, they say, okay, yo, we can do that. And they just dump the money on it. You know what I'm saying? And they do that for each card that you want. And then, like I said, eventually you get to 6 figures in credit and you leveraging it, and you never touch your own money. You don't even have to. You know what I'm saying? Your money's just sitting tight, and it is what it is. But one of the main concerns people have with credit cards, they're like, yo, what if I do a business deal with my credit cards and it goes south? I don't make money like I thought, and then I owe the credit card back. There is something called velocity banking, right? Velocity banking changed my life. It changed everything on how I look at debt. Velocity banking is pretty much a way that you could pay off debt 10 times faster. All right, I'm gonna give you an example. So let's say you have 2 0% interest credit cards. Let's say you have student loans, right? You got like $15,000 in student loans. You got a $20,000 credit card, and you got like a $15,000 credit card, right? Peep this. You could take $10,000 off one credit card, right? Pay that onto your student loans, take another $5 off this other card, pay that on your student loans. Now your student loans are free and clear. Peep this. These are 0% interest credit cards, meaning you're not gonna have interest for a year. Now, peep this. Let's say you still work a job though, okay? You take your job income, your whole check, and you put it onto the credit card, right? Then, since your credit card is revolving, you can use that money again, right? You take that card and you pay your bills, right? You pay your bills with your credit card, okay? After you pay your bills, whatever money's left over, now you will need cash flow to do this. And cash flow is just simply how much money you got left over after you pay all your bills, how much money you got left over. But after you pay your bills with your credit card, whatever money was left over from that check, that stays on the card, okay? And then you get paid again, right? At this point, you're acting as the bank because the student loans are already paid off. This is now your credit, and you're acting as the bank, basically paying yourself back. See how this works? So you take that money, and then whenever you get, you take it, pay the bills, and you leave the rest of the money on there. Then you get paid again. You do the exact same thing. Wash, rinse, repeat. In about 5 to 6 months, your credit card will be paid off. Okay? Paid off. And now you know it takes you 5 to 6 months to pay off 13, 14,000, depending on your cash flow. You always know that you have $13,000 and $14,000 that you can use, and you know it'll be paid off in 6 months. That's velocity banking. So anybody out there who does have credit card balances, that you may have like a high balance on your card. Let's say you got 10,000, you spent like 9,000 trying to do something, it didn't work out. You can always do that. Take your job paycheck, put the entire thing on your card. And how do you do that? Just how you would pay your bill. You go in there just like you normally would pay your bill, and you just add a bigger amount. So if you normally would have paid like $40 on the card, just change that amount to $2,000 or $3,000 or whatever your check was. It'll put that on the card. Then whatever bills you got, you pay your bill with the card, leave the rest on there every time you get paid. What that's gonna do is it's gonna knock out that monthly payment that you had on that card, right? If you did have one, let's say you didn't have 0% interest. If you did have interest on that card, it's gonna knock that monthly payment out. It's gonna give you cash back, and it's also going to increase the usage on the card. So by the time you pay the card back, you call them up and say, hey, I want a credit increase. And then they're gonna take that $10,000 card to $20,000. That's the game, y'all. That's the power in credit and what you can do, man. I hope that y'all really understand how powerful it is, and that y'all really go out there and get your credit fixed, so that way you can be the lender, not the borrower. You could borrow to become the lender. You know what I'm saying? You could borrow money to become the lender, and it'll definitely be a blessing to you and your family, man. So do me a favor, get your credit fixed. Get you some cards, get you some business credit, and go out there and change the world, man. The world needs you. The pandemic has changed a lot of people's lives, man, for the better and for the worse. So if you want to be on top of the 1%, you need to learn how to utilize credit to make more money, because that's how people are losing. Think about it. Really think about it. If you somebody who, let's say you wanted to run an ad for your business and your job only pays you $15 an hour, you only had $200 to run your ad. Meanwhile, you have somebody over here with making the same amount of money at their job, $15 an hour, but then they got a $10,000 credit card and they're able to do $2,000 toward the ad. Who you think gonna make more money? Yeah, the person with $2,000 on their ad. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what it was. But like I said, the person who has the most leverage wins, right? Meanwhile, you running out of money over here. They're not even tapping into their own money that they got saved. You tapped into the money you saved. They ain't tapped into the money they saved. They just used their credit card, scaled it even bigger on a bigger ad. They made more money. That could be for a boutique. That could be for selling hair. That could be for cutting hair. That could be for Forex or anything. You gotta be smart. You gotta think like the rich and the wealthy. And that's what I'm here for, to teach y'all how to do that, man. Like I said, these are very powerful. Very powerful. For you having a certain card, you get your own Satirian lounge at an airport. They treat you like royalty. Like I said, you can go to certain hotels and get, you know, upgrades and stuff like that for having certain cards, man. It's just crazy how the game works. And nobody wanted to tell you. They just kept telling you to stay away from the cards. So what I'm telling you right now is get them, get as many as you can. And really just use them responsibly, y'all. If you really want to learn how to get some points, like I said, certain cards have a certain bonus points that they give you. So let's say you might go to a Chase Sapphire, right? And they may say if you spend $4,000 in 90 days, we'll give you 50 or 60, 70,000 points, right? And you're like, okay, well, I don't know if I can spend $4,000. Either you can run your bills through the card to get that, or you could just pull the money off, right? Pull the money off the card, wait 3 days, put the money back on the card. It's gonna show that you spent $4,000. You didn't even touch it. You took it off, held it, put it back on. It's gonna show that you spent that, and then you get all the points and the cash back. And you can use that cash back to go buy your designer, to buy your, you know, your family something nice, to buy groceries, to do whatever. So that's how you finesse the game. And you can constantly do that on multiple cards. All the time. Like I do it all the time. Like I said, I never use a debit card. I will never use a debit card again because I get so many perks and stuff with these credit cards, y'all. So learn how to use credit, learn how to leverage it. And like I said, the more you use it, the more money they give you to do bigger and better things. So just continue to come up with a plan on how you're going to escape your job. But I'm telling you right now, these right here is #1 way for you to leave your job and to get out here and enjoy life. But you just got to know how to use them. You got to know what to invest in. So come up with a plan. If you need help with that, let me know. But like I said, all the information you need as far as if you want to get your credit fixed, down below. If you want to know a couple more secrets and stuff like that, I do have links down below. So make sure you go ahead and get started. Hit me up on Instagram, man. And like I said, man, y'all better get this money. All 2021 is lit, but definitely go follow him 500. Definitely go holler at my boy J Knows Credit. Definitely go holler at Daryl Drake. Definitely go holler at a lot of guys on there. Just constantly research and just find people in your niche, man, that's really doing big things. And go check them out, man. Like I said, I'm going to holler at y'all. It's your boy Jeremy Cash. Peace.